Hey everybody, welcome back to Audio Clouds, the channel where we focus on those small artists who deserve the spotlight. Our first artist today goes by the name soLonely. He's located in Stockholm, Sweden, and for sure, I know that he's a part of a collective called Good Sound. It might be a larger collective other than just two people, but I've only been able to find out about two of them. One being our artist today, soLonely, and the other one is his boy HE Flips. You can find their music on all major platforms. The links will be down below in the description for sure. His SoundCloud seems to have most of his content, even stuff that he hasn't put up on the platforms, due to copyright or whatever the case may be. But you can always check his music down on his SoundCloud account. All the tracks that I will speak about today will be there. So one thing I wanted to note that I like about him before I really get started is he's not one of those people that are heavily reliant on features. In fact, I've only been able to find about two. There might be one or two more on his SoundCloud that I just missed. But for sure, he's only had two features. One being the track Wavy with an artist named Convolk. And the second being Moved On featuring Dementia, which is another artist that I found through soLonely's SoundCloud account. Everything is down there, or these two tracks are down on his SoundCloud, so you can go check those out. My three favorite tracks from this guy have to be Tomorrow, If I Die, as well as the track Outside. Now, these are my favorite songs for three main reasons. Catchy, simple, great beat selection for his auto-tuned voice. That's it. Just three major reasons. Now, I will go in depth on each of these three now. So the songs are catchy, and they're catchy. And they're catchy because at least one song in his discography has to induce a head bob for anybody. And then you start to listen to the content and you find out that it's relatable. So once a song is catchy, they induce a head nod, one of these, right? And then you actually pay attention to what he's saying and you're hooked. You actually appreciate at least that song that you're starting to like. Next, simple. Now, simple means that for me in this mindset, simple means that lyrically he isn't very complex. And while yes, this genre doesn't need to be lyrically complex, the lyrics he does deliver feels personal and relatable. And I think in this genre, that's really one of the most important things. When you're doing sad trap, you have to convey the sadness very well. And I think he definitely does. Another artist, for example, that was able to do this really well for me was Peep. Now, he might not be the most liked artist out there because not everybody's into that sad trap. And I would say I'm not really. But when I feel like you make good music, I can't deny, you know how to make, good music, even if it's for a genre that's not that popular. And that's how I feel about soLonely. And the last thing is great beat selection for his auto-tuned voice. Now, not everybody has a good auto-tuned voice. I think I'm one of those people. Maybe I haven't messed with the right settings, but I've never been able to get my voice to sound very good with auto-tune. And it might be because of the tone of my voice, the level, the way it sounds. I really don't know. But his is good, especially on spacey beats, which is what he primarily uses in these three tracks. Now, the spaciness of it's leaving the beat time to breathe, as well as still put you in a state, it puts you in a certain mind state, and it goes with what he is saying. And I think that's the best factor. On the relatable note, though, I wanted to say that his topics cover, or they range from, girlfriends leaving you, suicide, depression, late night calls, and everybody on this earth has experienced something in that range. Whether it's once or multiple times in your life, you've experienced it. I know I have, and I think that's one reason why he is a good artist. He's saying things that people can relate to. I think a lot of reason why hip hop does so well sometimes is, people in the hoods, hip hop and rap, people in the hoods, are really living this life. And that's one reason why they like it, because it's relatable. And that's one of the most important things in music. I think that's one reason why, Beyonce's music does so well and stuff like that, because she's covering topics that women just go through. And that's one reason why she's still relevant, is because not only is she a good singer, but the topics in which she's covering, females just live their lives with every day, and she's talking about it. And I think that's why they appreciate her music. I appreciate soLonely's music because, like I said, his topics that he's covering and he's speaking about are relatable, and that is important in this genre. They might be overused in this genre, yes, but it's all about how you do it. soLonely, on at least the Tomorrow track, brings in elements of, I would say, 3 artists. 1 being The Weeknd, 2 being Lil Peep, and 3 being himself, soLonely. Now, I say The Weeknd not because I think he can sing like The Weeknd, but more specifically, The Weeknd can make banging songs about sad topics, and I think that this guy can too. I say Lil Peep because of the subject matter as well as how he's able to incorporate it into his own style, and his own style being soLonely, because some of the songs definitely feel personal and like he's actually been going through these things before, like it's just what he does. There's a song where he says something along the lines of being so drunk he might need a facelift. And I feel like I've definitely been so drunk that my face is just drooping. And it goes with what I'm saying. He feels super relatable. A couple notes that I wanted to mention is he seems to be very good at coming when the beat, drops out and then comes back in. He's always able to deliver a very good note, a very good hard hitting, I don't know what it's called, but like when the beat comes back on, it slaps. He's able to come back in and with a punch, and I actually really appreciate that. Even if it's a subtle one, even if it's not, like a hard hitting thing, it's something that he's able to do. These 3 songs I wanted to note highlight the sound that I think will blow him up. I think if he's continuing with this method, he will be able to continue to craft songs that are just begging for him to blow up. On the flip side, if he blows up even without this sound, I think he has the ability to potentially work with some, hit makers, people that have made and produced hit songs for other artists. If he works with the right person, I have a feeling that he can literally take over the music industry. Very similar to how Lil Peep was doing it, slowly creeping, slowly making more fans. And, Lil Peep did it by himself, and soLonely could technically do it by himself. There's no doubt in my mind. But if he had the opportunity to work with the right person, sky's the limit. Absolutely sky's the limit. Another thing to note is he's got a few acoustic guitar sampled songs. And while they're good and still relatable and pretty much catchy, they're not my cup of tea. I don't discriminate against acoustic guitar songs, but for me, I think he's better over the sad trap style beats. I think they really allow his voice to shine. While the acoustic guitar songs are normally meant for somebody who's just like regularly singing, you know, when I think of acoustic guitar, I think of some guy in the park trying to attract women singing songs. And I don't think that's his place, but more power to him. I respect it regardless. What else did I want to say? He's mixing sounds of successful artists with his own flair. Another reason why I think he's going to blow up. Last thing I wanted to say before I end the video is some other bangers of his that you might want to check out are the song Drown, Smiles, Let Me In. While Let Me In is an acoustic based song, it's worth giving it a listen to, because it might be what you like. Yeah, that's it. Make sure to like and subscribe, guys, because there's more on the way. Trust me, I'm doing my research each and every day, and I'm writing up tons of notes for each of these artists. So expect the quality to get better, the length to get a little bit longer. And yeah, right now I'm just one man trying to do this one take. So if you guys like what you see, make sure to like and subscribe. If at the very least, just like, so I potentially see more people. Thank you, guys. Peace.